You walk into your cabin. The hard part feels over. You made it through the terminal, through security, through the crowd, at the gangway. Now it's just you, your suitcase, and a bed that looks pretty inviting after that whole process. Here's the problem. What you do in the next 20 minutes decides whether the rest of this trip is smooth, or whether you end up dealing with a surprise charge, a broken AC unit at midnight, or a cabin that never quite feels like yours. Most of that is preventable. Almost none of it gets mentioned in the boarding pamphlet. So before you unpack a single item, here's exactly what to check, in the order that actually matters. Quick thing before we start. Some of what's coming up could genuinely save you money on this trip. If that sounds useful, hit subscribe now so you don't miss the follow-up video on embarkation day mistakes. Alright, let's get into it. Number 1, document the cabin first. The first thing to do, before your bag even touches the floor, is pull out your phone and record. Not a photo, a short video, walking slowly through the whole cabin. Bathroom, carpet, furniture, balcony if you have one. Say the date and time out loud while you're filming. Here's why this matters more than people think. Cabin damage claims are usually handled after you've already checked out and gone home. If there's a stain or a scuff that was already there when you arrived, and you have no proof, that's now your problem, not theirs. A 30-second walkthrough video costs you nothing and protects you completely. Skip it, and you're trusting that nobody ever questions the condition of a room 300 other people have slept in this year. Number 2, check the bed, remove textiles. While you're doing that walkthrough, take a second to actually check the bed. Pull back the corners of the mattress and look at the seams. You're looking for small dark spots or anything that looks out of place. This sounds paranoid, and most of the time you'll find nothing. But cruise ships are not immune to pest issues, they just don't advertise them. Same as any hotel wouldn't. If something looks off, don't unpack, don't sit down. Go straight to guest services and say you need a cabin change due to a sanitation concern. That phrase gets you taken seriously fast. While you're at the bed, it's also worth pulling off the decorative throw pillows and the bed runner if there is one. Those aren't washed as often as the sheets, since housekeeping is working with a tight turnaround between guests. Toss them in the closet. You won't miss them. Number 3, disinfect high-touch surfaces now. Before you settle in, take 30 seconds to wipe down the stuff everyone touches and nobody thinks about. The remote, the door handles, the light switches, the thermostat buttons, the safe keypad. These get handled by every single guest, and they're not always a priority during a quick room turnover. A pack of disinfecting wipes in your carry-on solves this in under a minute. It's a small habit, but it's the difference between starting your trip feeling fine and spending day 2 in bed instead of at the pool. Number 4, test bathroom fawning frenzies. Here's where a lot of people get caught off guard later in the week. Test everything and break before you actually need it. Flush the toilet, run the shower for 30 seconds, and watch where the water goes. Press every dispenser to confirm they're stocked. If something's wrong, the earlier you report it, the better your odds of getting it fixed before it actually matters. Ships carry limited spare parts, and maintenance requests pile up fast once everyone's settled in for the night. If you do find an issue, tell guest services it's a sanitation concern needing immediate attention. That wording tends to move you up the list. Number 5, test the AC early. Same logic applies to the air conditioning, and this one catches more people off guard than almost anything else on this list. Set the thermostat to its coldest setting the moment you walk in, then go on with your other checks for the next 20 minutes. If the room isn't noticeably cooler by then, call it in immediately. Here's the thing about timing. Report it in the afternoon, and there's a decent chance it gets handled while you're at dinner. Report it at 11 p.m., and you may be sleeping in a warm room until morning. Test it early. It's one of those checks that takes no effort and saves you a genuinely miserable night. Number 6, noise audite. While you're moving around the cabin, just stand still for about a minute and listen. Some cabins sit under pool decks, near the galley, or close to elevator shafts, and you won't know that until you're actually standing in the space. If it's loud now, it's going to be loud tonight too, and possibly every night after that. Here's the part that matters. Most ships give you a short window, often just a couple of hours after boarding, to request a different cabin if one's available. Once you've unpacked and settled in, you're a lot less likely to want to deal with moving, and cruise lines know that. If the noise is a real problem, head to guest services early and be direct. Say the cabin is unlivable due to noise and you need it addressed now, not later. Number 7, meet your steward. Fix bed stet. Somewhere in that first half hour, try to catch your cabin steward in the hallway. Introduce yourself, learn their name, be friendly about it. This isn't about working an angle. It's just that stewards manage a limited supply of comfort items across a lot of cabins, and requests tend to get filled in the order they come in. If you want a mattress topper, extra hangers, or daily ice service, ask early rather than assuming it'll still be available by evening. While you're talking to them, take a look at your bed setup too. If you booked a king and got two twins pushed together, don't wait until you're trying to fall asleep to deal with it. Ask your steward to link the mattresses properly. It only takes them a few minutes, but it's a request that gets harder to fill once the evening rush starts. Number 8, request comfort items. This next one is worth asking about even if you're not sure you'll use it. A lot of standard cabins don't come stocked with robes, extra ice, or pressing services by default anymore, but they're often still available if you simply ask, at least on some ships and cabin categories. It costs nothing to ask your steward. I'd love a couple of comfort items if they're available, and worst case, they say no. Best case, you've got robes and daily ice for the rest of the week that your neighbor down the hall never thought to request. Number 9, mini fridge warning. Now here's one that trips up a lot of first-time cruisers, and it's an easy one to avoid once you know about it. That mini fridge in your cabin might look like an empty space for your own drinks and snacks. On some ships, it's not. Certain fridges use sensors that detect when an item's been moved, and moving something, even just to make room, can trigger a charge whether you drink it or not. Before you touch anything in there, take a quick photo of the contents. Better yet, ask your steward to empty it for you entirely. That's the safest option and takes the guesswork out completely. The general rule with anything sitting in that fridge: assume it costs money until you've confirmed otherwise. Number 10. Test the safe. While you're going through the cabin, test the safe before you rely on it, and do this while it's still empty. Lock it, then unlock it, and make sure the keypad and the door are both working properly. Safes run on batteries, and if one happens to die while your passport, cash, or car keys are locked inside, you're looking at a maintenance call and possibly a very stressful morning on disembarkation day. Once you've confirmed it works, that's exactly where your passport, your cash, and especially your house and car keys should go. Those keys, more than anything else, are what people scramble to find on the last day of the cruise. Number 11, organize the cabin. Storage, suitcase, magnets. Let's talk about actually setting the cabin up so it works for you all week, because cruise cabins are small, but they're rarely as small as they first feel. Check under the bed and under the sofa for drawers, look behind the vanity mirror for shelving, and check inside anything that looks like it might open, like an ottoman or a nightstand. Most cabins have more storage than what's immediately obvious, and finding it now means you're not living out of an open suitcase for the next week. Speaking of the suitcase, once it's empty, slide it under the bed rather than leaving it in the corner. Leave it unzipped, and use it as a laundry drawer for the week. It keeps the floor clear and makes the whole room feel noticeably bigger. If you travel with magnetic hooks, now's the time to put them up. Cabin walls are metal, so hooks hold hats, lanyards, wet swimsuits, or your daily itinerary without taking up any surface space. It's a small thing, but by day 3, you'll notice the difference between a cabin that feels organized and one that feels like a pile of stuff exploded in it. Number 12, TV, Wi-Fi stop. Turn on the TV for a second too. Many ships have a live camera channel, sometimes called a bridge cam, that shows the view outside in real time. If you booked an interior cabin, this is genuinely useful for a sense of day and night, since you won't have a window to tell you otherwise. While the TV's on, this is also a good moment to log into the Wi-Fi before the network gets busy with everyone else doing the same thing. If you're planning to use it for anything important, test the speed from a couple of spots in the cabin, including near the balcony. The metal walls on most ships create dead zones. If the connection is unusable where you need it, a quick screenshot of a speed test gives you something to show the internet desk if you want to ask about a refund or an upgrade. Number 13, ADite booking, the loyalty perks. Before you get too settled, pull up your booking on the app or check with guest services and confirm your dining time, any shore excursions, and any loyalty perks you're supposed to have. Errors happen more often than you'd expect, simply because of the volume of bookings being processed, and most lines are far more willing to fix a missing perk on day 1 than on day 4. If something's missing, be direct about it. Say your account is missing a confirmed perk, and you need it corrected now. Catching this early is the difference between getting what you paid for and quietly losing it. Number 14, balcony AC, tradie off. If your cabin has a balcony, there's one thing worth knowing before you get comfortable out there. On some newer ships, opening the balcony door can automatically shut off the air conditioning since the system senses the door is open and doesn't need to keep cooling. Leave it open too long, especially in a warm climate, and you'll come back inside to a noticeably muggier room. It varies by ship, so it's worth testing on your first day. If you want fresh air, that's fine. Just don't expect the AC to be doing much while that door's open. And don't leave it open unattended for long stretches if you're trying to keep the room cool for later. Number 15, snacks water charge trap last thing. And this one catches more people than almost anything else on this list. If you see bottled water or snacks sitting out in your cabin, don't assume they're complimentary. On most ships, they're not, and they're rarely covered by drink packages either. They're placed exactly where a welcome gift would be, which is exactly the point. If you're not sure, ask your steward to remove anything chargeable from the cabin, or just check with guest services before you open anything. It's a lot easier to prevent that charge on day one than to dispute it after you've already opened 3 bottles over the course of the week. So that's the full walkthrough. Document the cabin, check the bed, wipe the high-touch surfaces, test the AC and the bathroom early, meet your steward, lock up anything valuable, set the room up so it actually works for you, and double-check anything sitting out that looks free but might not be. None of this takes more than 20 or 30 minutes, and almost all of it happens before you've even unpacked. Do this once, and the rest of the week runs a lot smoother. Getting your cabin right is only half the equation, though. There's a separate set of mistakes that happen before you even reach your cabin, right at check-in, and those can cost you a lot more than a mini bar charge. In the next video, we're covering the embarkation day mistakes that can slow you down, or in worst cases, get you held back at the terminal entirely. If you want to walk on board as smoothly as possible, that one's worth watching next.